This is Joe Pugh for IFLTV. We're here in London. We've just seen absolute carnage on stage. Tommy Fury, Darren Till, John Fury, that delivered.
We say fun fights. We often use the words fun fights. This is a seriously fun fight. Where do you start? Yeah, it's possible because in the world of misfits there are no, rules around who can fight who really, apart obviously weight classes. But there's no red tape. There's none of that. We had a quick discussion with John and Tommy. Had a discussion with Darren. Got it all signed up. Surprised everyone on a Sunday afternoon. Choked on their Sunday roast, most of the traditionalists. And yeah, I think it's just captured the nation on Sunday because you had the crossover world, the traditional world, the UFC world. It just went down really well. It's one of those ones where, you had a feeling in your stomach when you're making the fight, it's going to be something special. Pre-sales sold out this morning in 2.5 hours. And the general sale, which goes on this evening at 6 p.m, I think. Co-op Arena, Manchester, live on the Zone, January the 18th. It's going to be so hot. So
Sunday evening, I was actually on the phone to Coogan, and then as I'm on the phone, I get the email from Misfits to announce it, and we were actually genuinely excited.
My Sunday roast, and I got Coogan messaging me, and I've switched iPhones, and I've lost his number wasn't on my WhatsApp, so I just had the number, and it's Coog. We do a piece. I'm like, I'm at lunch. He said, "Come on, we got to do a piece." So I went on and did a piece with Coog, and it was lovely to get away from the lunch table, but also it felt so good to talk. It was fun to talk. It was like one of those announcements where you're actually really excited about it. Obviously you promote fights all the time, different types of fights, but this one has really gets your juices going. And you can tell Darren is very much up for this space. He was making a right stamp on this. He's, Tommy Fury, who's in this space, made a massive name for himself. The fights with Jake Paul and KSI, the Prime card. He has got a massive name in the space, and Darren is arguably the B-sider on this one, so he wanted to make an impression. He certainly did. And yeah, it was wild. It was wild.
Right, let's kind of dissect what happened on this stage. It's probably still a little bit wet from John Fury throwing water over it. But Darren...
Water or Prime? I wasn't sure.
It was water, because I was actually looking before the presser started. He refused.
So I know exactly how to move when that liquid comes flying over.
It's always the same motion, is it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. There's your thumbnail, Coogan.
Right, so Darren Till says if he's going into the last round and losing the fight, he will fly kick Tommy Fury.
Quote of the day. Did he say going into the last round? I thought he just said if I'm losing the fight with my fists, I'm just gonna kick you.
He told me that over there as well, and he said he don't care about the purse.
I've heard some stuff at press conferences, but that was wild. Obviously, it is Queensberry rules. There is no kicking allowed. Just to make that very clear, this isn't like an MMA competition. It's a boxing fight. But again, as I said, Darren, you could tell Darren was very much up for this today. Yeah. Put it bluntly.
Look, John Fury was giving away his address. Pig eyes, I think, was the quote of the day. There was a few quote of the days, to be fair. Yeah, it was all going off, and kind of a shame we didn't get the face-off, but we got enough right there, didn't we?
Well, I do sort of like a face-off. It sort of helps to promote fights, but hey, certainly we had enough security. They did a great job today, but I didn't want to put them through a face-off after that. That was, I think, uncalled for. So I think the face-off would have been so far apart you wouldn't have got it in one shot anyway. So no, I think we made the right call on that.
Was there any danger of them coming to blows, do you think? Because obviously, very, very animated, angry Darren, John.
Joe,
all right, take away security. Come on.
Yeah, well, take away security. Thank God they were there, because on the one hand you've got big John Fury, right? And on the other hand, you've got UFC legend Darren Till. I don't know, mate, but I'm not getting in the middle of it, right? So, no, it's not a problem, right? Why don't we go down the pub for a pint now? No, I think it was very good we had enough security here, because I wouldn't like to test it out. Darren Till's the sort of guy who can throw up people and make them spin around in the air and land them on their head. And John Fury, resembles sign out a Game of Thrones. He's the sort of fella who's going to go storm straight through people. So I really wouldn't like to put it to a scientific test what would have happened. But I
would.
love the bollocks on you. You know, it's the age, isn't it? It's like, I must have been like that back in the day as well. I don't know, but I know I didn't want to see what would have happened, right? But now you got me thinking, yeah, it would have been quite interesting.
Right, 2 more quick ones. Before that all kind of come to blows or nearly come to blows, it was a little bit frosty between KSI and Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury chucked the bottle of Prime. Will we see that rematch?
I certainly think so. I certainly think so. It's a big fight to make in the space. You know, it was a fight that attracted a lot of attention. We felt the decision was the wrong one. But that's boxing, you know. And, you know, JJ definitely wants that rematch. I think Tommy would want it as well. So, but right now, with this super fight, I'm not going to look past that, you know.
Well, we're led to believe that Tommy Fury, well, we know Tommy Fury's fighting Darren Till. We're led to believe that KSI will be fighting Q1 of 2025 as well. So Q3, Q4, it could lead perfectly to it.
I've got to admit that, you know, I'm pretty old school to deal with Q1s and Q2s when it comes to boxing. I'd say, yeah, he'll be out around March. Yeah. I mean, we're looking at 2-3 names at the moment, big names. You know, so
what background? Like, what sort of names are we looking at?
Big names out of the combat space. Big names. All of them, all quite different, but super interesting. Can't say more than that now.
Right, last one. Andrew will catch up with you in Newcastle when we talk about Harlem Eubank.
Back to business, live on Channel 5 Friday night. Make sure you tune in. And then, of course, it's off to Qatar. Saturday, bags packed, grand arrival Sunday. Fight night for Qatar is Thursday night. Actually, Thursday evening, because it's the time difference. So, you know, get tuned in because it's going to be one hell of a fight week from Qatar. What we got planned over there is insane. Middle of Formula One week. Amazing. The amazing city of Doha.
More fights to be announced as well?
How do you know? How do
I'm asking you. I'm not knowing. I'm asking you.
A couple of very interesting announcements. One that I am super excited about. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I will see you in Doha. Cheers, mate.
Absolutely.
Ah.